amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom. What is ionization energy? It is also called ionization enthalpy. It is also called ionization potential. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom. How much we supply energy in order to remove the electron from an atom. That is known as, that is termed as ionization energy or ionization potential or ionization enthalpy. Now third is hydration enthalpy. When the ion is dissolving, when ion is passed through the water, then energy is liberated. Energy is liberated. That energy is called hydration enthalpy. So it means a particular metal will lose electron, and the rate of losing electron will be decided by these three factors. Here the first is size of an atom. If the size of an atom is bigger, then it is easier to lose electron. Like you are now residing in your house. Suppose after some time if you go out of the Nevada, then it becomes easier for your independent doing the work. You become the master of yourself. Now you are not the master of yourself. Your parents is here, you are very close to your parents. So you cannot take any decision. But when you are out of the Nevada, you can take any decision. I mean, whether you want to study or not, it depends on you when you are not in Nevada. But when you are in Nevada, your father, your mother, your elder brother, sister force you to study because you are very close to the nucleus. Similarly, when the outermost electron is closer to the nucleus, then they are held strongly. So a lot of energy is required to remove those electrons. But if the size of an atom is bigger, then it is easier to remove the electron from the outermost shell. So what I said, the size, if the size of an atom is small, then the reactivity is less. If the size of an atom is more, then reactivity will be more. Why? Because the losing of electron will be easier. Now ionization energy depends on the size of atom. Ionization energy depends on the size of an atom. If the size of an atom is smaller, ionization energy will be higher. It means if the size of a metal atom is small, then high energy is required to remove the electron from an atom. So the tendency to lose electron will be less. Third, hydration enthalpy. In this case, energy is liberated. So this energy is compensated by hydration enthalpy. So my dear student, basically these two things you keep in mind. One is the size of an atom, second is ionization energy. For sometimes you forget it, but these two things you must remember in order to understand. There will be no why certain metals are reactive, why certain metals are less reactive. For this I am giving you answer. It depends on the size of an atom. Second is ionization energy. If the size of an atom is larger, rate of losing electron becomes easier. It means less amount of ionization energy, less amount of effort is needed to apply in order to remove the electron. Is it alright? Once again, the rate of losing electron depends on size of an atom and the ionization energy. Basically, these two you keep it in mind, that you may learn little more in class 11, but which is 2 factor is very essential here. So what, like in an activity series, what is a activities reactivity series? The arrangement of metals in a vertical column, the arrangement of metals in a vertical column in the order of decreasing reactivity. The arrangement of metals in the order of decreasing reactivity is called activity series of metal or reactivity series of metal. My dear student, if you focus here, like a potassium is at the top and sodium is after potassium. Now, if you observe that out of sodium and potassium, potassium has 19 its atomic number, so its electronic configuration is 2881. How many cells are there? 4 cells are there. At the same time, if we talk about the sodium has its atomic number 11, so its electronic configuration is 281. So it has how many cells? 3 cells. It means size of sodium atom is smaller than size of potassium. So potassium can easily lose electron with respect to sodium. That's why potassium is more reactive than sodium. Similarly, calcium and magnesium. Calcium has 20. Calcium has a 20 its atomic number. So its electronic configuration is 2882. And magnesium has 282. So now you see, again calcium has 4 cells and magnesium has 3 cells. Calcium has 4 cells and magnesium has 3 cells. So out of calcium and magnesium, calcium will be more reactive. Now you will object, sir, potassium has 4 cells, calcium has also 4 cells. Then why potassium is more reactive than calcium? My dear student, potassium has to lose only 1 electron, but calcium has to lose 2 electrons in order to acquire the nearest noble gas configuration. So after losing 1 electron, the size of atom gets contract. So it means in order to remove the second electron, now when you remove this electron, after the removal of this electron, because here nucleus tries to pull the outermost cell or this electron inwards. Nucleus is applying a force on electron to pull towards nucleus. At the same time electron is trying to pull the nucleus outwards. So these two forces acting simultaneously, as long as when the number of proton and number of electron are equal, these two forces are balanced. What I said, as long as number of proton and number of electron are equal, these two forces which act simultaneously are balanced. But you are applying the energy first ionization enthalpy and you are losing one electron. After losing the one electron, after losing this electron, slowly the size gets contraction. The size of atom gets decreased. So what happens? The electrostatic force of attraction becomes little strong. So now, in order to remove this electron, IE2, you need more energy. Now it means magnitude of ionization energy, second ionization energy will be greater than the first ionization energy. That's why calcium is less reactive as compared to potassium. Hopefully you understood it well. Thank you. Have a nice day.